nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. You're back! Good to see you. Hope you're looking forward to this two-gun review, because this one's getting a little crazy. Sorry, couldn't help myself there. No, but seriously, I've been following this company. I've been following this line of games from them, and I've been enjoying them. And the newest one is it's the rest of the games plus something new. Yeah. Did something different. So why don't you join me down the table and I'll tell you my review, my thoughts and opinions on Crazier 8's Olympus. I'll see you down there. Welcome back to another two-gun review, my friends. And with us today, direct from Recoculous Games, the newest in the Crazier 8's title, Olympus. So, we're going to start the way I always start, and that's with the first thing that you get to see about a game, and that's seeing what the game, it's packaging, right? So, if you take a look, actually, let me put up a picture. I think that'll be better. If you take a look, you'll see that they have a style. It is the regular go-to style that they use with the art, and just changing the colors, such as Camelot's green, 1001 Nights is a purple, and now we have this blue for Olympus. I'm guessing red will be next. Maybe Norse? So now, why don't we take a look at this and start off with the tuck box itself, right? This is the packaging. This is the first thing you're going to see on a store shelf or in a lineup on Amazon or Miniature Market or some other place. First thing you're going to see is the box itself. The art is fantastic because this cover art tells you exactly what you're going to find art-wise inside the game. Anywhere you look at it, you see the advertisement, which is good. Anywhere this placed on a shelf of a store or your home, you're going to want to be able to, show off and see very easily what it is, so that's good. Now, on the back, it has a great little write-up, tells you exactly what you're going to expect to find from the game, as well as what's in the game, and shows you a preview of this amazing, very thematic and beautiful artwork you're going to find inside the box. But that's it. So, I would give this a thumbs up, right? It is what it is for being a tuck box of cards. And I definitely think that I find this to be engaging. It makes me want to know more, especially when I see the back and I see that. Anyway, let's take a look on the inside. I can get this open. Yeah, not bad. I usually have a problem with tuck boxes. And that's it. All right, let's mention the rule book. Now, in all of the editions, they have very, very similar rule books. They're edited the same, use the same pictures, and why not? There are a few changes from game to game, such as the aces in this game are dealt with differently than they're dealt with in either Camelot or 1001 Nights, and we'll get to that when I talk about the rules of the game. I enjoyed this rulebook. I found it very easy to get through. However, I just got to say up front, this is based on Crazier 8s. So if you're familiar with Crazy 8s or Uno, you pretty much got the rules for this game down. This, I would say the rule book is put together very well. Good use of illustrations. Everything is where it should be. I never had to dig to look for anything, and I never felt like anything was out of place in how it was set up. I think this book does its job, and it does its job well. So, you shouldn't have a problem getting through this. Now, also with the rules, each of the tuck boxes comes with a little cheat card. Hope you get through the rules. After your first game, you're not going to need this. Really, you're not. But it's good. I'm glad. I like it when companies do this. So this also gets a thumbs up from me. Now the components. So yes, obviously this is just a card game, so the components aren't going to be anything more than this. Cards. Card stock is good. It's a good, solid card stock. It's not going to tear on you easily. I mean, you never want to manhandle cards to begin with. But these are good cards. I haven't had a problem with any of the decks that I've had so far. No tearing, no ripping. Then again, I don't handle them like a Titan, like an ogre. I do try to be a little bit careful. The art on the cards, I always talk about this whenever I talk about a Crazier 8's game. I can't help myself. The art is some of the most beautiful and thematically engaging art I have seen in my decades as a gamer. Sometimes I go through these cards just to look at them. So I feel like I'm in a museum. How many other games can you say that where has art where you literally feel like you're looking at pieces from a museum? Some of these are, especially in some of the older games. But it's fantastic. I give the components on this game a thumbs up as well. I think the cards are well done, and I am very happy with them. All right, so now let's get to what some consider more of the beef of the matter, and that's how the rules play out, how you set up and how you play the game. First thing that you're going to want to do after you remove the cards from the box is you're going to want to give them a good old-fashioned shuffle, however it is you feel comfortable shuffling, no matter how it is you do shuffle, whether it's by hand, whether it's poker style, a soft shuffle like this, or even a shuffling machine. I know some people use shuffling machines. So you're going to shuffle the cards up, you're going to put them down in the center of the table, easily reach to everyone, and then you're going to take the top card and you're going to start the discard pile. Sometimes I call it the chase pile too, because these are the cards you're chasing after. The color, the number. So you're going to do that, and then after that, each player is going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 cards into their hand, and they're not going to let anybody else see their cards but themselves. They're going to keep them secret. Next, you're going to determine who's going to be the first player, and there's no real set way to do that. However you want to do it, flip a coin. Whoever has been to Greece, last. Whoever watched Clash of the Titans last. However you decide, you pick the first player, and then you're going to be going clockwise around the table from there. The first player starts the game. Now, in the very first turn, you don't have to worry about the beginning phase. The first step of the game during your turn, the beginning phase, that deals with if you have cards in play, assets, which at the first turn you won't. But if you have assets in play, that'll say either at the beginning or the end of your turn, such as this card here. If this was in play, then this would take place at the end of the turn. Some cards say at the beginning. Since this is the very first turn, you don't have to worry about that. So you're going to go right to the first player, drawing a card, and secretly looking at it, and adding it to his or her hand. Now, after you draw the card, you enter the main phase of the game, and from there, you get to do 2 things. You may play a card from your hand, and you may also discard a card from your hand. You may discard first. So you can do them in either way that you want. If you wanted to discard a card, because you do have to get your hand down to 0, just like in similar games of this title, you would have to match. So I could match this with any of these 3 cards, because I show a 7, and I show the sun. So any of these 3 I could put down on top and get rid of them. I would go over them, and let's say I decided that's the one that I was good with losing, then I would throw that out. But now I also get to play a card from my hand. And I do have some assets. They're all assets and events. I think that I would want to play this. So this asset is Atlantis. You may discard an additional card during your turn. Whenever the second card you discard during a turn is an event card, you destroy all assets that are in play on the table. And I would take this and I would put it down in front of me in my play area like that, showing that it's been played. But now this is still my turn. My turn is not ended yet. This is the main phase, not the end phase. So then I could discard another card. So if you're going to do that, then you discard to the bottom. If you're not doing the match, if you're not matching, then you're going to discard any discard card like that to the bottom of the discard deck. If any players have any assets in play that take place at the end of the round, then that would happen now at phase 4 for the end phase. And that's generally how a turn goes. Now, in other Crazier 8 games and Crazy 8 games, 8s are considered wild. So any of these 4 cards can be used for any card. They can be used for any card, any color. And when you do use one of these cards to discard, then when you put it down, you get to name what color it is. So by doing this, the next player would have to either put down another 8 and then get to name it any color he wants, or if after putting that 8 down, I had changed it from red to green, then the next player would have to put a green card down. Now this brings us to the aces. Now, unlike the previous games, the aces in this are a bit different. The second text on all of the aces, the second paragraph, they all do say the same thing. Cannot be destroyed. So, cards that destroy assets in play do not affect the gods. Why is that? Because the actions of mere mortals could never destroy the gods of Olympus. Now, there are some cards that you can steal or exchange assets. Remember, the gods are fickle. But you cannot destroy the ace cards. And that hasn't shown up in the previous games so far. I'm not sure if it's something that will hold over. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. And then the first player to discard his or her last card in their hand is the winner of the game. This game is easy to learn, it's fast to set up, and very fast and easy to teach someone. This game plays out in about 20 minutes. It's good for players of ages 13 and up, and you could run 2 to 4 players with the game. Now, if you get one of the many decks that they have, such as Pantheon, which matches up with Olympus, then that'll add another couple of players that you have possible to run the game. I think this game hits a lot of marks. You know, it's familiar. It has a beautiful look to it. It plays very fluid, very easily, and it's so much fun to play and look at the same time. I think this is a great game for families. I think this also makes a great head-to-head game. I've played a few head-to-heads of this, and I did find them just as intense and rivalry-filled as with 3 or 4 people at the table with me. I definitely think that if you're looking for a fast game, easy to carry, easy to learn, easy to set up, and something that's going to keep you engaged, you definitely want to check out Crazier 8's Olympus.